My name is Navigator, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a little weekend haul review. So, I think I maybe got a couple things from online, from eBay. There were a couple things that I just kind of picked up in hand this week, and then I actually stopped at Toying Around today, and I grabbed some stuff there as well. So, without further ado, we're going to get into this. I have a bunch of loose figures, some graded stuff, as you can see, and then some in-box stuff, and I guess we'll just get the loose stuff out of the way. I'll move my chair over so I can plop them down on there fairly easily. Throw my phone there. All right, to start with, I did get another order of Sergeant Savage stuff, and this actually, Sergeant Savage is a big chunk of today's video, but these are the four figures that I grabbed from an eBay lot, again, on eBay. So the first one here is just kind of the normal, like, Commando Sergeant Savage. What I've been doing with these, because really all you have is Sergeant Savage, D-Day, and Dynamite. Those are the only three, like, allied heroes that you have. So when I get these extra ones, they're kind of just like my wounded. I just kind of have them, like, lying or dead on the ground. So I have those. What I really needed were these enemy guys. And the perfect thing about these is that these are great army builders. So aside from, I think it's General Blitz or General Blitzkrieg, who we have right here, and he's kind of the leader of these bad guys. So it was really good to kind of have the Sergeant Savage Cobra Commander, variant, I guess you could say. But with these are army builders. They're kind of like the normal, like, robo troops or whatever you want to call them, robo, Nazis or fascists. I don't know if that's going to be demonetized or something for saying that, but we have these. So very cool. And I can't wait just to be on the hunt at toy shops and just picking these up, to and from, and kind of building an army out of it. I showed it off in a video recently, but I have a whole Sergeant Savage display, and once I get those figures set up and everything in order, I'm going to be doing a whole video going over my Sergeant Savage display. So speaking of that, let's get the other Sergeant Savage stuff out of the way. Like I just said, I have a whole shelf, I have a whole display, and I kind of wanted it to be a little bit of a story. So what I've been doing is I have like a little farm set up, and again, you'll see this in time. But the whole gimmick is Sergeant Savage and the boys, they're kind of defending this farm that houses this chest of all this gold. And what I did is I went to Michael's and I got this little chest. I'm going to weather it and decorate it and kind of make it look pretty period. And then I grabbed, just because honestly I was broke this week, I just grabbed the cheapest little gold thing I could find. Just these little gold beads. And I'm going to fill the chest with these and a couple other like riches. And it'll be the whole like, oh, General Blitz is coming to steal this gold. Kind of like a Kelly's Heroes type thing. And Sergeant Savage and the guys have to defend against it. So that'll be a cool video coming in the future. Hopefully that I remember to take a video of it. But we have that, and the last Sergeant Savage thing from Toying Around. I've actually been dreaming of picking this up for a while. Not because it was too expensive or anything, just because I've been out there and I keep forgetting to grab it. But this is going to be the Cryo Freeze Biochamber Sergeant Savage. And as much as I do want to unbox this and take a look at all these accessories, it's in really, really, really good condition. And I want to keep this in box. And I just like the whole cover art and everything. I don't have any Sergeant Savage in-box stuff just yet. I'm planning on getting something from Toying Around, from Mad 80s Toy Shop very soon in the future. But for now, I just have this Sergeant Savage figure in box. The one thing I wanted is that Cryo Freeze chamber, but apparently it's just like cheap plastic, and I wouldn't really have space for it in the display. But if you guys didn't know, Sergeant Savage is the G.I. Joe equivalent of Sergeant Rock and Captain America. He's a World War II soldier that kind of came out of cryostasis along with all of his friends or whatever, and they're back to fight these like robo-Nazis. That's the whole gimmick of it in the 90s. All right, the other inbox thing that we have here, and then I'll get to the rest of this from Toying Around, is going to be an Ortiz figure. Ortiz and Eddie Kingston have recently been tag teaming, and the Ortiz figure that I have is the Inner Circle one with the face paint. I reviewed it here on the channel a long time ago, if you guys want to go check that video, but I figured that I would upgrade, quote-unquote, my Ortiz by getting his older figure, but this one doesn't have the face paint and looks a little bit more like how he does now. So I'll be doing this and kind of upgrading it and maybe getting rid of that. Maybe throwing a shirt over him to cover up that Inner Circle one, but very cool, and I will be unboxing this on the channel. These, I mean, if you guys are in the area, Toying Around has 50% off most of these early AEW figures, like including Santana. I know they have like probably a Kenny Omega there, and like, FTR and Rusev, Miro. But yeah, if you're looking for them, this was $20, so I got it for $10. It was half off, so very nice. I'll be unboxing that later in the week on the channel. I'm going to throw that in the unboxing zone. All right, before I go through the rest of this stuff, let's go through all this literature. So from Toying Around, I did grab this little flyer for Immortal Championship Wrestling Immortal Kombat 7, and that's going to be on February 21st. I will be heading out there to that show. Very excited for that. And you guys know I love my little flyers. For Christmas, my mother bought me some Harry Potter Harry Potter Chocolate Frog Post-it notes, and it came with this little collectible card of Albus Dumbledore, and I've just kind of had it bumping around. But it's a collectible card, so I figured I would show it off here on the channel, and I'll just throw that with my card collection. I don't think I have any other ones of those. What else do we have here? From Toying Around, because I had just a couple more bucks left over for my store credit. Number one, we grabbed this, which is really cool. I think these are new. It is a Toying Around $1 off of a $5 purchase or more, so very interesting. So kind of a $1 off little thing. I might just keep this just because it's kind of cool looking. I really like that a lot, but we do have that. And then also some stickers. Really cool, actually. I got some really awesome stickers. We have a New California Republic one from Fallout, so that was great. A Dean Ambrose one. You guys know I'm a huge Moxley, Dean Ambrose fan, so that was great to get. And speaking of him, we have this really cool Shield sticker with the three of them on there. I have an awesome water bottle with stickers on it, and that's where all these are going. And I thought this was great. I'm not really a fan of like what this represents, but what this is supposed to be is like all these guys fighting for Daniel Bryan's championship, but it just has a bunch of awesome wrestlers. I believe that's Seth. I think that's Seth, but we have AJ. Who's that? Randy. I'm pretty sure that's Randy down there. Jeff Hardy and Samoa Joe. And Daniel Bryan, obviously, but just a bunch of some of my favorite wrestlers on there. I thought it was a really sweet picture. And then finally here, because I am a Marky D123 fan, check him out here on YouTube. Double J, Jeff Jarrett. So there we go. Awesome. Love it. We'll get these stickers out of the way. A couple other things here. I just grabbed some small accessories for those G.I. Joe or Sergeant Savage, like, you know, Robo guys. And these are just kind of going to be just some like normal. I tried to get some like World War II-esque looking weapons, but they're just these like little like futuristic grease gun type things. I don't think they're going to fit too well in the hands, but my hope is that I can have one hand on the grip here and one hand on the magazine. And then for General Blitz, I just got this big kind of Luger looking blaster to kind of coincide, because Sergeant Savage whole thing, and I'll show it to you here. He has this kind of like 1911 style pistol. So I thought this would be a good kind of like bad guy counterpart to that, and it almost syncs up exactly. This actually might even be the blaster. I have no idea. I got to do more research on those figures, but I will get these out of the way, and we will take a look at the final things that we have here. So the loose figures, all from Toying Around. From the $5 bin, we grabbed this Toy Biz Human Torch. I have kind of a little like retro Toy Biz shrine, I guess you could say, with a couple figures there, and I think I'm going to add him to that. And then just for my DC UC collection, I grabbed a $5 Zod, and I'll throw him in there. Again, it's styled with the DC UC figures. And then I also grabbed this, this is the DC Multiverse Lex Luthor, but the body is that same DC UC mold, and it's kind of just like a plain Jane type thing. So I have this, and he has the long hair. What I was thinking of, actually, because I saw a Facebook post about it, is turning this into a Jason Blood custom, and I'm gonna get the Etrigan figure, if you guys know what I'm talking about there, and this will be the Jason Blood variant. But I was thinking about that. Bottom line, it's just kind of a plain Jane DC UC mold figure that I could do something with. And the final figure that I have here, I forget the elite number off the top of my head, but it is a CM Punk figure that I did not have. This is one of those earlier elites, what do you call it, Sideburns CM Punk with the red and white gear. I do not have this one yet, so another CM Punk figure to check off on the collection. Need it in box, obviously, but I do have it loose now, so that was super cool. Got that for $23. And then finally here, I maybe talked about this when I first started my whole comic craze at the beginning of the summer of 2025, but I finally got in my TMNT number 3 graded comic, and I got it back in at a 7.5. It was a lot better than I was expecting. This is, of course, the first print of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 3 with the wraparound cover. This thing is just incredible. I only have one other, maybe two other graded comics. I think just one, though. But it's awesome to have my first, like, I sent it out and it came back graded comic. This is one that I owned. And you guys know me, I'm a massive TMNT fan. And to have just one of the original 3 comics of, ever of Ninja Turtles, especially over like a 5, I guess you could say, is really cool to have. So that was awesome. And shout out to Ravenswood Comics in New Hartford, who facilitated all this. If you guys were curious about pricing, pricing and timing. If you want looking to get a comic graded, I sent this out maybe in July of 2025, maybe August, but like July, I want to say, and it's now February 1st, I should say, of 2026. So that's the kind of the time difference, and it was $60. It was $60 to get this graded. Prices might differ, but this is just for one comic. It was $60 flat, and so there we go. Also, shout out to Ravenswood. I should add this in actually. This came in probably 2-3 months ago originally, so it took a little bit shorter than than from July to now. But the plastic on it was cracked. The plastic on it was cracked somewhere, and Ravenswood was kind enough to actually send it back. And obviously CGC or whoever it was did it for free to kind of have it fixed up and everything. And then it finally came to me. So I know I'm kind of going on a spiel here, but shout out again to Ravenswood for making this happen. And folks, it's hitting the 10-minute mark now, so I will leave it there. A big review, the weekend haul, toying around, eBay, Sergeant Savage, graded comics, the whole shebang. Like I said, I will leave it there. As always, folks, my name is Navigator. Have a nice day. Take care.